was 21, I went traveling through Europe. I had a white sheepskin coat, and I had a canvas bag. I had one pair of shoes, black pants, a black turtleneck sweater, because I left in November. And in my bag, I had a huge book, How to See Europe on $5 a Day. So, I went first to Ireland, and I got to see the troubles firsthand of how the people fight there. Then I spent a month in Scotland, and I met a lady who asked me to stay in her apartment and exercise her horse every day for 2 weeks while she went on vacation. So of course I did that wonderful thing. Then I took a train to London, and in London I looked up a friend of my Latin teacher from high school. And she lived in an apartment with 4 bedrooms. She had 2 roommates, so there were 3 of them, and she said, come and stay with us because we have an extra bedroom. So I moved in with my bag and my white sheepskin coat. I stayed there for about 6 weeks, and I went museum hopping, and I went to the theater. The bathtub was in the kitchen. So one night, all 3 girls were out, and I said, great, I can finally take a bath in privacy. I hadn't even taken a bath since I've been there. But anyway, I mean, sponge baths, that's what they do there. So I put a coin in the meter because that's how you got the hot water. So I put the coin in, and it jammed. So I went downstairs because the girls had told me that some nice young students lived downstairs. So I knocked on the door, and this nice young student came to the door, and I explained what happened to him. And he said, oh, well, I'll be right up there. So he came up, he unjammed the coin, and he said, when you're through with your bath, would you like to go to dinner? And I said, of course. So we went to dinner, we chatted for quite a while, and he told me that he had just come back from a work-study program for 3 months in Israel with young students from all over Europe. And he said, if you go to the continent, you should look up this great guy, Hank, in Holland. So when I was done with visiting London, I got on the hovercraft and I went to France. I spent a week in Paris. Then my Eurail pass kicked in, and I took the train to Holland. First I spent a day in Amsterdam, and I went to the Rijksmuseum and saw the beautiful Night Watch, which is tremendous, by Rembrandt. And then I got on the train again, and I went to Delft. And his address was on the same street as the train station. So I walked out of the train station, and here's a long line of these beautiful old 3-story apartment buildings. I found his address, this young Dutch boy. I knocked on the door, and a young woman came to the door. She said, oh, Hank is expecting you because the English boy had written to him. He's away for the weekend in Rotterdam, staying with his sister, and he said you could stay in his apartment. So here I was alone again. I said, great, I can wash and roll my hair, and I can wash my underwear. So I did exactly that. And his bedroom was in a loft. So I washed and rolled my long brown hair. I washed my underwear, and I hung it out on the central heating grill to dry. And I climbed up to bed in the loft. So I went to sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I heard my name being called. And first I thought it was my father, and I was in trouble. Then I realized where I was. So I sat up. I ripped the rollers out of my hair. I had long brown hair. And I had this darling little nightgown that my sister had given me that was a t-shirt scoop neck nightgown with flowers all over it. I gently descended the stairs. So with my long bouncing waves and my underwear in the background, I met Hank, my Dutch boy. And I'm still married to him after 38 years.
Wow.
I got the green light.
That was a great story. That was wonderful and very touching for me because I have a 21-year-old and I'm taking off to Europe with him this summer. And then I'm leaving him there for 2 months. He's going to be experiencing some of what you did, and I hope that I can find some sort of book for him on how to do it on maybe $10 a day. Okay, and now I will introduce our,